to the Pegasus story. The children were all nestled in their beds, snuggled on in, heads down on their pillow, eyes wide open. It was time for them to settle in, and they asked for a Pegasus story. So as they were laying there, we were chit-chatting about the day and talking, when Desmond, who was on the top bunk, saw a bright light coming through the window. It was far away, but as it came closer, it got bigger and bigger. And since he had already been on one Pegasus adventure, he knew what was happening. And he got all excited and said to the girls, "I see the light, I see the light." And the light came down closer and bigger, and then the moment came. As Pegasus soared over the house, swooped down, the children instantly found themselves on his back. And away they were on an adventure. It was bitter cold outside, but sitting on his back they were as warm as they could be, and everybody was happy and giggling. Pegasus' mane was flying in the air, and he threw his head back and whinnied, and the children were just filled with joy. His tail strung out as far as it could, wide behind them, as he caught the wind and flew. His great wings battered the air, and the children just hung onto each other and giggled and laughed. And even though it was bitter cold, they were as warm as they could be, as if they were in some magic bubble, which of course they were. And they said to Pegasus, "Where are we going? Where are they going?" And he said, "Hang on, children. It will be a short journey, but we're going to go someplace you're going to enjoy." And away he went. Only he soared higher and higher, and then he went as fast as he could. And about 15 minutes later, he began to dip down towards the earth. And the earth was no longer white with all the snow that had been on the ground. It seemed that there was green and maybe some stones or some rocks, and then brown. It's a brown color. They got down lower and lower, and as they got closer, he said, "What is it? What is it?" Because it seems like it's brown, but it's all blocky. It's not like regular landscape. It's not like mountains, or beaches, or hills. What is it? What is it? We can't tell. He said, "Oh, you'll have so much fun." But he did come down to a stretch of flat ground that had grass on it, and he flew down to the ground and gracefully landed. And as he did, he said, "I will be back in an hour or so." So the children, he dipped his wing down onto the ground, the children slid down and off they ran towards these things that looked like cubes. And when they got there, lo and behold, it was boxes. Boxes and boxes, big boxes, bigger than refrigerators, smaller than microwaves, all kinds of boxes. And there was a great door on the first one, and in they went. And oh my word, it turned into connecting tunnels and great rooms and small rooms. And one room might look like a kitchen, the next one might look like a museum, the next one might be a store with candy in it. One was just filled with blankets where they could cuddle up and take a nap. But each one connected to at least one more. Some of them led to dead ends, down long tunnels. And some of them led to 2 or 3 different exits and entrances. So they would go on vast trips through these, giggling and trying to find each other, sometimes getting a little afraid they were lost, and then hearing someone's voice and knowing that they could pop their head out the top of the box and see where they were. So it was never really frightening. And then one place, when they were playing so hard, they came to the one spot where there was a fountain, not your water fountain, but a soda fountain where it served Kool-Aid and root beer and iced tea and water, and whatever it is that you wanted to drink, apple juice. So they would get something to drink because they'd be hot and sweaty and just having so much fun. They had to go wake up little Lindley. She got so tired she lay down in a blanket room and fell asleep. One room was filled with Christmas lights all over. Another room had toys. Every toy that they ever wanted was in that box maze, in that section. And they would just play with one toy and run to the next one and pick up another toy. Some of them had puzzles in them. Oh, they had such a great time. And then this time it was Tia said, "Is it getting brighter?" we're in this box, how can it get brighter? Well, the answer is Pegasus was on his way back. And so he swooped down over the boxes and they saw the light, and each one gathered up their cousins, brothers and sisters, and gathered together and walked back towards the grassy area where Pegasus was waiting for them. And he said, "Children, did you have a wonderful time?" "Oh, yes, they did." And each one reached into their pocket and pulled out the favorite thing they'd found. Tia had root beer in a small glass with a sippy cup lid on it so it wouldn't spill. And Lindley had found a sucker. She just thought candy was the best thing. And Desmond had found some special granola bar things that he thought were wonderful, and he had those in his pocket. And so they all climbed up onto Pegasus' wing, up onto his back, and it was Desmond in the back, and then Tia and Lindley in the front. And Lindley was wide awake because she'd had a nap, but Tia, she slumped down with her head on Desmond's chest, and Desmond just grabbed a hold of him, and Pegasus said, "Hang on, here we go," and up he went, up into the air, and Desmond just spent all his time looking down at the earth and the different rivers and the lands, hills and farmland and snow and roads and all the different things, and Lindley just took it all in as well, and Tia, she just slept. And then they began to get closer and closer to Grandma's house, which is where they were when they left. And Pegasus said, "Oh, I hope you had fun. It was good seeing you all again. You have a good night's sleep. And remember, I love all of you." And he swooped down over the house, and in an instant the children were back in their bed. And of course, what they had done last time, they did again this time. And they reached in their pocket and they could find the miniature toy-like thing in their pocket. Desmond pulled out his granola bar. It instantly turned into a real one again. Tia, into her pocket, pulled out her root beer, and it instantly became a real root beer again. And Lindley, with her sucker, same thing. They tucked them back into their pockets for keeping for later, put their heads on the pillow, and with sweet, sweet memories of their adventure, fell fast asleep.